Personally, I think the JBL grip is pretty odd. It's not as versatile or as portable as the JBL Clip 5, and it doesn't sound as good as the JBL Flip 7. And the JBL grip also has a built-in light feature, which I feel is pointless because you can't see it from the front. But still, the JBL grip is marketed as something to consider if you're looking for something small and durable. But instead, today we're going to compare the JBL grip to the Soundcore Boom Go 3i, which I feel is a lot more versatile, and we're also going to compare it to the JBL Flip 7, which is a step up from these other two speakers. So first there's the design of these speakers. Now both the Flip 7 and grip are cylinders, and the grip is a little smaller than the Flip 7. But honestly, I think the size difference here is negligible. You're going to be able to easily place these speakers in your water bottle holders in either your backpack or bike, but if you're going to try to attach them to something, you are going to have to get a little creative. Because with the grip, it does have a loop, but you really can't do much with this loop. Whereas with the Flip 7, it also has a loop, but more importantly, you can swap it out for a carabiner. But still, you're gonna have to get creative if you want to attach either of these two speakers to something. Whereas with the Soundcore Boom Go 3i, first off, this speaker is shaped like a puck, so you can't slip it into your water bottle holder as easily. However, the speaker does have a built-in rubber strap on the back, and thanks to this strap, it's going to be super easy to attach the speaker to your backpack strap or bike handlebars without needing any extra equipment. So when it comes to the attachability of these speakers, the Soundcore easily wins here. However, I will admit that both of JBL speakers feel more premium because they both have fabric wrap bodies, whereas the Soundcore has a mostly plastic body. However, this plastic feels very dense, so the Soundcore is still super durable, and all of these speakers are waterproof, so you don't have to worry about them getting wet. But nonetheless, all of these speakers are durable and portable, but I do feel that the Soundcore Boom Go 3i is the most versatile speaker here, because it's much easier to attach the speaker to things without needing any extra equipment or needing to get creative like you would with either of JBL speakers. But something that's very surprising about the Soundcore Boom Go 3i is that this speaker also has a built-in light feature. Now, this light feature looks good, and you can also choose from a few different lighting modes. But I actually really like this light feature because it makes the speaker more versatile, because you can use it at night while you're out jogging or riding your bike, and other people can see you. So this is one of those rare cases where the light feature isn't just for looks, it's actually pretty useful for safety. Now, the JBL grip also has a light feature, but I feel this light feature is pointless because first off, it's on the back of the speaker, so you can't actually see it all that much. But more importantly, this light feature isn't as dynamic as Soundcore's. The lighting modes are limited, and even the colors. However, just like the Soundcore, you can use this light feature for nighttime safety, but overall, this light feature isn't as impressive as Soundcore's. However, if you do decide to use this light feature, that is going to take its toll on the battery life. Now, the Soundcore Boom Go 3i has an advertised battery life of 24 hours, which I feel is great. But that's with the speaker playing with the light feature turned off, and with the volume set to 50%, and with the bass up feature turned on, which I do feel is fair, because 50% volume on this speaker is a decent listening volume. It's a good volume to use while you're out on a hike by yourself. And bass up means you're going to get good amount of bass out of the speaker. And Soundcore claims that if you were to use this speaker with the light feature turned on and a max volume and with the bass up feature turned on, it's going to be good for around 6 hours of playback time, which again is very impressive just given the sheer size of this speaker and all of the features that it actually has. And with my real-world use of this speaker playing at 75% volume and with the light feature turned on and with the bass up feature turned on, I've been getting around 12 hours of playback time. But also, this speaker has an eco mode. Now, eco mode is going to turn off your light feature and is going to lower your bass, but at 50% volume, it's going to be good for around 40 hours of playback time. So overall, battery life on this speaker really varies, but it's still very impressive for its compact size. Plus, it's super durable, and they've even managed to squeeze in a decent looking light feature. It's important to say decent because there are some other speakers out there that just have pointless light features, like let's say the JBL Grip or the JBL Boombox 4. Whereas with the Grip, the speaker has an advertised battery life of 12 hours and the Flip 7 has an advertised battery life of 14 hours. And with both of these speakers, you can also extend their battery lives with playtime boost by about 2 hours, but that's going to severely reduce your bass. But real-world use with both of these speakers playing at 80% volume, the Grip is good for around 6 hours of playback time and the Flip 7 is good for around 8 hours of playback time. But then there's the USB-C port on these speakers, and they're actually very different. Now, the USB-C port on the Grip is strictly used for charging the speaker, and that's it. Whereas with the Flip 7, you can also use this USB-C port as a wired connection with your phone, so you're gonna get lossless audio. Now, that's nice and all, but with the Soundcore Boom Go 3i, you can also use its USB-C port to charge your own devices. Now, you're not going to be able to fully charge your iPhone, but if you need an emergency 50%, then the Soundcore can help with that. So again, this speaker is a great versatile option for someone looking for something to hike with, because not only do you have your light features, so people are going to be able to see you at night, you have an emergency battery bank if you need it. And I think that is nice and all that the Flip 7 allows you to use a wired connection, but I think being able to charge your phone in an emergency is more important. But when it comes to Bluetooth connectivity, all of these speakers can be connected to any two Bluetooth devices at the same time, so you and a friend can both be DJing. And latency is not an issue for any of these speakers, so you can use them to watch videos with on your phone. But now let's talk about sound. When it comes to speaker setups, all of these speakers are fairly different. The Soundcore Boom Go 3i has a front-firing driver and passive radiators that shoot out the front and out the back of the speaker. Whereas with the Grip, the speaker has a single front-firing driver and it has dual passive radiators that shoot out the sides. And honestly, the Grip is like a JBL Flip 5. And then there's the Flip 7, which has a more premium speaker setup because it has a front-firing woofer, a front-firing tweeter, and dual passive radiators that shoot out the sides. And thanks to the woofer and tweeter setup found on the Flip 7, it's going to have better instrument separation because the woofer is going to handle the mids and the tweeter is going to handle the highs. So like we have just seen, the woofer handles the mids and the tweeter handles the highs. So that's going to help the Flip 7 sound more open than these other two speakers. But now we're just going to go ahead and jump into the sound test. All of these speakers are playing at 75% volume with their stock EQs.
I swore I'd block your number for good, but here you are texting me you up. I know exactly where this is, on your side of the bed at 3 a.m. I tell myself don't fall this time, but you say my name and I lose my mind. You're a bad idea again. Your friends all think I'm over this place. Mine keep telling me to walk away, but we both know how the night goes. We talk a little then lose control. I tell my
So when it comes to sound quality, both the JBL Grip and JBL Flip 7 sound much better than the Soundcore Boom Go 3i. Both the Grip and the Flip 7 sound more open, and they both have more bass than the Soundcore Boom Go 3i. But with the Flip 7, the speaker just has a lot more bass than these other two speakers because it does have the largest passive radiators here, and it also sounds more open than these other two speakers thanks to the woofer and tweeter setup. And quite honestly, this speaker better sound better than these other two speakers because the Flip 7 is a step up from both the Grip and the Go 3i. Whereas with the Soundcore, this speaker does sound the most narrow and the most nasally here by comparison. Now, don't get me wrong, the Soundcore Boom Go 3i sounds good and it's great for outdoor use, but with both of JBL speakers, you are going to get noticeably better sound quality. But when it comes to max volume performance, the Soundcore does get a little louder than the JBL Grip because it does lean toward a brighter sound signature. But the JBL Flip 7 does get noticeably louder than the Soundcore Boom Go 3i. But overall, the Soundcore Boom Go 3i sounds good and it gets decently loud. But with the Soundcore Boom Go 3i, this speaker isn't just about sound. Some people will forego the improved sound quality for the extra features that just aren't found on both of JBL's speakers. And finally, they're pairing these speakers up with other speakers. And now all of these speakers are using Auracast. So if you want, you can get two of the same speakers and get them to play in left and right stereo mode. Or if you want, you can pair a Grip and a Flip 7 and get them to play in sync. Or you can pair them up with any of JBL's other speakers that are also using Auracast. Like let's say a Boombox 4 or a Charge 6, a Flip 7, a Grip, Clip 5, or a Go 4. And you can get them to all play in sync. Or you can also pair them up to any of JBL's larger party boxes that are also using Auracast, like let's say a Party Box Encore 2 or a Party Box 120, 325, 2720, or to an Ultimate, and you can get them to all play in sync as well. However, you cannot pair any of these speakers up to any of JBL's older speakers that are using Party Boost, like let's say the Boombox 3, a Boombox 2, an Extreme 3, a Charge 5, Pulse 5, Pulse 4, Flip 5, or to a Flip 6. Only the Extreme 4 is able to connect to both Auracast speakers and Party Boost speakers. But nonetheless, if you are planning on growing your collection of speakers, then JBL is a good option to consider here. Whereas with the Soundcore Boom Go 3i, even though this speaker is also using Auracast, I haven't been able to get it to pair up to any of my JBL speakers that are also using Auracast. And you can't pair this speaker up to any of Soundcore's older speakers that are using PartyCast, like either the Boom 3i or the Boom 2 or the Boom 2 Plus. The only other Soundcore Auracast speaker that I have been able to connect this speaker up to is the Ray 3S, which honestly is pretty underrated. But with all that being said, both the JBL Grip and the JBL Flip 7 sound noticeably better than the Soundcore Boom Go 3i. They sound more open and they both have more bass. Both of JBL speakers are also a better option if you're thinking about growing your collection of speakers. However, for me, it is hard to justify the Grip because it is a weird middle child between the Clip 5 and the Flip 7. And with the Flip 7, this speaker better sound better than the Soundcore Boom Go 3i, just given it's your price. But honestly, I think the Soundcore Boom Go 3i is the best speaker here to consider if you're looking for something to constantly travel with. Because not only does the speaker sound more than good enough, it has features that these other JBL speakers just don't have, like being able to attach it to things much easier. It also has a much longer lasting battery life, and it also has a light feature that's actually worth using, and it can be useful for nighttime safety. And you can also use this speaker as an emergency battery bank if you need it. The only issue that I have with the Soundcore Boom Go 3i is that you can't pair it up to the Soundcore Boom 3i or to the Boom 2 or to the Boom 2 Plus.